Yo, 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 yo. Oh my God, you guys. Hi, it's me, your girl, Rachel La Loca. You know what this is, the Latinos Out Loud podcast. Do you see my guest right here? Yes, it is none other than writer, comedian, producer, director, a lot of things with OR at the end, or ER. Tonio Skits is in the building. Mi amigo, hermano. Desde años. It's so nice to finally have you on my show. I've been watching your stuff for so long, supporting you from afar. And when I see you in New York, it's oh so exciting. So y'all check this out. I saw Tonio at an event two nights ago. We were at 809 celebrating with our friend Raúl Acosta.
Yes.
Oro Sólido. Oro who? You know, Oro Sólido.
Oro
Hasta la
Sólido.
15. And I just kind of asked you, sin vergüenza, what are you doing? When you going home? And he was like, I'm here till Sunday. I'm like, would you do Latinos Out Loud before you go? And you said yes.
And we're here. She did forget one thing in the description of what I do, porn star. So she didn't. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I'm on Pornhub.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
And how's that looking? How's that working out?
It's a long game, but
A long game.
yeah, we're working it out.
That's great. That's really exciting. You know, Pornhub is interesting because sometimes like the phone is on Bluetooth and like people in my household forget that their phone's on Bluetooth. So I hear the Pornhub intro real loud on certain speakers in my household and I know what activity's going down. But now I'll tell them to search for you. Congrats.
Yeah. Folks, this is satire because she does sound real right now. I am not on Pornhub yet. So
What about OnlyFans? No?
no, I actually do have an OnlyFans.
So do
But I post. This was at the time OnlyFans hired me to. They were looking for non-adult creators to try to take the stigma away from like, hey, OnlyFans is not. It's only for like sexual content. Yeah. So I started making like exclusive comedy content there. But all they were doing is just pouring sand into the beach. Like, bro, it's not gonna stop. When you think of OnlyFans, you know exactly what you're thinking of. So that lasted like maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
Them paying me to do that, but I still have content up there since then. But I ain't got nothing crazy in there.
Okay, well, OnlyFans is exciting because I had that same meeting with OnlyFans corporate at one point, and they were like, "Yeah, they didn't really say they were trying to clean it up, but that's what I got from everything that they were."
But you do find other you can find kitchen cooking content there.
It's like scientists be on there,
Yeah.
talking about sexy molecules.
Sexy molecules. Oh, yeah.
That's the move right there. Okay, so speaking of molecules and atoms and ions and protons and neutrons, you are out there mad busy, bro.
I'm trying to be.
Okay, we know Tonio from so much. Instagram. I mean, he's killing the internet, but we also know him from a show called Wildin' Out. Yeah. Okay? Tell everybody about your experience of Wildin' Out, and you're going to be back for another season, right?
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Wildin' Out is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Wow, explain.
Because once you get on the show, like, you got to do so much on the outside for them to even be interested in even taking you in. And the fact that they were interested in me, great. I went and I tried out for season 7. I made it to the finals, and they didn't take me. I actually, yeah. So it was a long ride home because it was in New York. So I took a plane right back to Miami. And I remember when I was on the plane, I started thinking of all the negative comments. Like, bro, you're not even funny, or you're too old to be doing social media. Mind you, it's like 2016. But when I landed, I was looking through my photos and I saw a picture that I took with Nick Cannon. And I remember when I went to take a picture and he was like, "Yo, what's up, Tonio?" He knew my name. So I'm like, I only been doing social media for like less than a year. Nick Cannon knows my name. I got 50,000 followers. I'm like, imagine if I continue doing this, who else will know my name?
Yes.
So eventually I took that L and moved to LA. And in 3 months, I'm in Hawaii working with Kevin Hart and filming with his production team and directing him. Wildin' Out called me and asked me like, "Yo, why haven't you tried out for season 8?" What I really wanted to say was, because y'all ain't want me, but what I said was, "Oh, I moved to LA, so yeah, I didn't have the time." They go, "Oh, we're auditioning in LA." I'm like, "Oh,
yes."
Like, can you be at the CBS studios tomorrow? I was like, "Yeah." And then I stood up all night rehearsing, and then when I get there, they're like, "Yo, you're on the show." And then I did 4 seasons on the show.
This is great.
And I just did my 5th season a couple months ago in Atlanta, and I go back hopefully in October to go do the whole full season.
I love hearing stories like this.
And I'm the first Latino on Wildin' Out. People don't forget that. I'm literally the first Latino on the show.
Yes.
So shout out
yes.
to Wildin' Out, Nick Cannon,
I love this.
Justina Valentine.
LOLeros, do you hear this? Persistence, consistency, taking that L and putting it into LA and making a move out there and building. And then what happened?
Yo, Rachel
they
got
wanted
bars.
you. Yeah, I got some bars.
Yo, take that L, put it in LA. Oh.
What you know about my bars, son? I'm from Brooklyn, bro.
She's from Brooklyn. She's like, hey,
Sheepshead Bay.
I don't play.
There's no gangsters in Sheepshead Bay. Okay, yo. Pero I love this because it's a testament to just work.
Yeah.
Putting in the work and then reaping and seeing the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
That must have felt so good to like be wanted after maybe you felt unwanted.
Yeah.
And then you embraced it like a mature
And I embraced
adult.
it. But then once I was in it, yo, Rachel, like, it's like Wildin' Out is like hard. Because
Let's
first
dissect.
of
Go
all,
ahead.
now that you're in the show, cool. That means the executives say, hey, give him a shot. Now you have to mix in with your peers, you know? You got you got this whole cast that's been working with each other. You're the new person. And nobody really want to care to help you. So you really got to you have to prove to them you belong there. And it took me about a season and a half to do that. So the thing is, it's really improv. What we do is they'll fly us to whatever the location is. And we'll be out there for about 3.5 weeks, maybe a month. We spend the first week doing rehearsals. And that consists of, it's called a workshop. We play every game back to back to back to back to back. We just play every game. You don't know what we're doing. We're just playing every game. So to the point where by the time we do the live taping, sometimes we know the night before. If not, we know the day we get there. Like, hey, these are the games that we're playing. So when you get there, it's almost off impulse, off instinct. That's why we do a lot of improv games as well. So, you know, when you say something, we're responding quick. And so these workshops is what help you do that, because sometimes they'll play a game that we only played it once in the workshop, so you just got to be on point, you know? Yeah. And then the tricky part is, in workshops, let's say we're doing Let Me Holla. It's a game where, you know, you come up and there's a girl there, you got to come up with a clever line, a pickup line. If it's funny, you get a bell. If it's not, you get a buzzer, whatever. And so the joke went off. Like at workshops, everybody laughed. But that same joke might not work in the audience.
True.
So you gotta read the room. You gotta read the audience as well. Or sometimes I had a situation where I said a joke, nobody laughed at the workshops, and I'm like, damn, I thought it was good. Sure enough, we're playing the game, and I remember that joke. I couldn't think of anything else, so I hit that joke. The delivery was great. Everybody laughed. It was amazing and made it on the show. So it's just, you just never know. But the improving skills of Wildin' Out has taught me everything to this day. How to act better, how to do because of Wildin' Out, I was able to do stand up. You know, I did a show on HBO Latino. I did 2 stand up comedy shows I hosted on HBO Latino
Was
called
this Entre Nos?
Yes,
Yes.
Entre Nos.
Shout out to Entre Nos and Viva Productions and Ed. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of you know, Wildin' Out and just having the bravery almost from learning amongst these people and just really improving and doing that stuff. It just allowed me to think like, yo, I can also do this. So
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about improv. Because a lot of people, like, improv means a couple of different things. You know, I studied improv at the Upright Citizens Brigade, okay? 2-time diversity scholarship winner, okay? Ain't nobody flexing, but kinda.
Bitch,
You know what I'm saying? Okay? But improv is the art of yes and, right? Listening, working with whoever you are on stage with, a team. And so improv really makes your comedy brain sharp. Like sharp as a ginsu, y'all. So like I could see how that's a building block for other things in your career. So what else can you tell us about like that improv sort of infrastructure? Are you working on anything else based off of your experience with Nick Cannon, Wildin' Out, improv, and stand-up?
I mean, Wildin' Out was foundation for me, as it is for most people. And from there, it's allowed me to do stand-up comedy. From there, it's allowed me to do a lot of public speaking. I've even done, in 2018, I did public speaking at, what's that prestige college in Massachusetts? What's it called? Those Ivy League schools?
One of them, okay.
One of them Ivy League schools. What's the name of it? I always forget that name. Who?
Yale.
Yale, no, Harvard University. Yeah,
Harvard.
At Harvard,
This
I was
is a big deal, Harvard.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
a guest speaker there. But that has its own story. I don't know how long is your podcast, but what I did there connects back to Rosario Dawson and the
tell
movie that I
us.
wrote. It's okay. So before the speaking, right? I'm an avid believer of putting certain energies out there in the world. Like it just shit just works. So I remember I wrote to, shout out to Rosario Dawson. If you don't know who she is,
Elias.
Google her. One of the biggest actors in the world, you know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican. So, and she, she's from New York. So I wrote to her. I just wrote a comment. I'm like, we're gonna work together one day. All right, just put it out there in the universe. I don't know, maybe a day later, she saw the comment and she liked it and followed me. I'm like, it went set in motion the moment I did that. So now she knows I exist. 4 days later, I had I was booked at Harvard University as a speaker.
Yes.
So I went over there. I do my spiel. I think the conversational piece was about the bridge between being a musical artist and social media. How you don't really need these labels. You could just really do things yourself and become that label. Become your own marketing person.
Well, you created your own distribution platform.
Yeah. And so since I came as an expert from the social media side, I was one of the people that they picked to go speak. So I did there, went, spoke, did my piece, and then used the Rosario Dawson stuff as an example of how putting stuff out there in the universe so it can work, whatever. So I say that, and I said, yeah, I just reached out to Rosario Dawson. I had no idea. She responded back to me. Now she follows me, so now she's more how the trajectory of our life turned the moment I decided to comment her. So now she follows me. She knows I exist.
Incredible.
I finished it. Okay, I'll do a Q&A. First person that stands up. Hey, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm Rosario's mother.
What?
Rosario's mother was in the audience.
What? What are
so
the odds?
We bugging, we talking, and then she's like, I'm gonna call my daughter. She FaceTimes her daughter. I have a FaceTime. I'm like, hi. She goes, Rosario's like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, I'm telling you, the universe works. I'm here with your mom. I told her, she's like, oh my God, that's so crazy.
My God.
I just started following you, and now we're friends, and now I'm working on a movie called Mr. Social. I just wrote it. I'm on the 5th draft.
Yes.
And I have Rosario Dawson in the movie.
Yes.
And I have her mother.
Calm down, Rachel. This is exciting.
It's an action comedy that I'm literally right now seeking funds. But the writer's strike, everything's slowed down right now, so we're on pause. But yeah, that's where we at.
Yo, but this is the time for independent projects, boo. You know what I'm saying? With this strike, there are pockets that are opening, right? Pockets of opportunity. We just have to find them. They be out there. We got to get creative. The same way Hollywood is finding their loopholes on how to promote films and all of that jazz, we can also find loopholes on how to make money, legit, and not scab.
Wherever these pockets are, I'm right here because we need money in my pocket so we can do
my
this
pockets
movie.
is kind of empty. You know what I'm saying? They showing through the shorts in the summer and they empty. They flat, but it's okay. All right. So I love that you take opportunity or you take experiences and turn them into opportunities. Yeah. You also have a Christmas movie that you're working on that's coming out.
No, this already. It came out already. Yeah,
Wait,
December.
Tell us about this Christmas movie where there's a Latino Santa Claus.
Yeah. So this movie is written by Justina Valentine. That's also on Wildin' Out.
Look at that.
It actually has a lot of members from the show on there. You have DC Young Fly, a lot of reality stars too. You also have Vinny from
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore in the movie. Yeah, he's in the movie.
What about Sam? Honestly, Ron, I do a little impersonation of Sam. Remember Sam? We're done, son. Honestly, Ron, we're done. We're done, Ron. That was my Sam from Jersey Shore impression. Thank you. Thanks so much. I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know she was gonna do that.
Yeah, it just comes out sometimes. You know what I mean? When do I ever have the opportunity to do Sammy Sweetheart? You know what I mean? It's kind of not.
I'm sorry, guys. We might cut it out. Anyway, so
we might. He's right.
The movie came out. It came out on VH1. VH1 is the one that purchased the movie. They put it out.
Yes.
They had a big lineup of Christmas movies. I think we outdid all the other Christmas movies. And it came out December 12th, 13th, I don't know where. You probably still can see it. Just go to VH1 or go to BET Plus, because I know BET bought VH1, so I don't know if that already combined it together. If not, just go to VH1. You can find it. It's called Forget About Christmas, Justina Valentine, DC Young Fly, Conceited, Nick Cannon is in the movie also. Your boy Tonio Skits. I play Santa Claus. First time Latinos ever done a white character on national television since 1956. But
Yeah, yo,
look up the
DK,
stats.
yo, DK, ho, ho, ho. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
That's
My
what's
character
up.
was a guy from New York, you know what I'm saying, with a Spanish background that played. So it's me. I'm like, hey, it's me. Like, it's me.
Isn't that like lovely
Yeah,
when, there's just synergy there and you can
yeah,
see yourself in the character or vice versa?
yeah.
Okay, I want to go through projects and then I have a whole slew of questioning for you
Let's
because
do
I'd
it.
like to really get beneath the skits of Tonio
Let's do it.
Skits. But you do have TMZ hip hop, which we must talk about.
Yes.
This is fascinating. Explain to us and the LOLeros about TMZ hip hop 30 episodes.
Yeah, we did 30 episodes. So TMZ Hip Hop, so everyone knows what TMZ is. And they came up with this idea of putting people of the culture to represent the culture, right? You don't want to have this, the guys on TMZ talking about whatever, cool, they have their own opinion, but when you have someone from the culture speaking of the culture, you have a better insight. So they made it, they put about five co-hosts all together. They went through a whole interview process. I was actually in LA auditioning for, no, I was actually filming a movie when they reached out and I had to be at the audition for TMZ Hip Hop. So I had asked production of the movie I was in. I'm like, can I leave during lunch to go to this audition? They said yes. The crazy
Very
thing was
nice.
I was in the middle of dying. So I had all this whole thing on. I had blood on me. So I went to the audition in my dying character.
Stop. Like bloodied up, like
Yeah.
fake bloodied
Yeah,
up.
I had to go get COVID tested. I had to tell like when I got there, I'm like, yo, this is not my blood. I'm dying like 2 blocks away in the middle of the movie. So I came here for an audition and whatever, I got picked. And we basically it's a morning daily show where we interview anything or anyone or an artist from the hip hop world, anything that has to do with hip hop. We interviewed it. We had conversation about it. We did morning briefs. We talked about anything in the news, anything related, and it seemed to be a hit. We got up every morning like at 5 in the morning. We were on set by like 6:20. The show lasted, it was an hour show, and we did our thing.
Fascinating.
And again, the only Latino on the show. You know what I mean? We out here.
We out here, you're breaking barriers.
Yeah.
Are you passing the baton behind you? And if so, how?
Nah, not yet. I'm gonna hold that for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm holding the baton. I needed to work more, but I'm always, I'm always dropping gems where I try to help people on my page, whoever comes to my page, like, let them know some more or less. Like, there really isn't a blueprint, right? But there is, like, I seen him do it, so I can do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope to be to other people. You know what I'm saying? Because I come from foster care. I come from foster care here in New York. I graduated from Kennedy High School here in the Bronx.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I literally come from nothing. So if you see me hanging out with Kevin Hart or all these people, that didn't happen by luck. That's just like, yo, you can't. It's possible. You just got to think that way.
Right. And work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, Tonio, you mentioned foster care, New
Yeah.
York. Where exactly were you born? Tell us about
I was
the
born-
origin story.
So I was born here. I was born actually in the Heights, in Washington Heights. I was born at Presbyterian Hospital on 168 Broadway.
I love this.
My grandmother worked in that hospital for like 40 years before she retired. And I was raised in the Bronx, 182nd and Rye between Valentine and the Grand Concourse, like by Fordham Road.
All right.
And I went to PS9, graduated from Kennedy High School, and this is where I'm from. This is my hood.
Were you the family comedian?
Yeah, I was that guy.
What was that like? Were you performing, during Noche Buena? Were people like telling you, go ahead, make fun of your family, like to do impressions and stuff? What was growing up like as mini Tonio Skits?
I performed all my stuff really in school. At home, even though I was funny, like they didn't think I was funny. My mom knew though. My mom always knew, like she knew I was gonna become something in the
Mothers
entertainment
know.
industry. Yeah.
Mothers just know.
She
Yup.
told me.
Mhm.
She knew. But yeah.
I'm worried about my kids, just real quick. One of them I'm not worried about. One of them's gonna be a doctor or a statistician or
Yeah.
something. The other one, I think is gonna be a comedian like mommy, and I'm very worried. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
always want better for your kids. But hey, I joke, but I could see the difference. And I'm sure your mother saw that in you.
Yeah.
Desde chiquito. You were probably this outgoing, bright-eyed, let me just find out everything about this and then poke fun at it type of kid.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think the most messed up thing I ever did, I told my grandmother's brother, I don't know, I would always mess with him, but I would take pencils and just like, I'll wait for him to sit down and try to
Like give him
and try
lead
to catch
poisoning.
him, and try to catch him sitting on the pencil. Like, that's wild. Like, I probably attempted murder, but
Oh my God, you could do mad shit with a pencil. Trust
Yeah.
me, I know. Okay. And so after high school, what happened? Did you start working someplace else? What was your first job?
well, actually, my first job here was here. I was like 16. I worked at Wild Palm. It was a salsa club.
What?
I worked at. I was a bus boy.
Okay.
I was bussing over there, and it was quick cash, and that was my first job ever. That's where I met the greats there, Tito Fuentes. I met like all these like old school salseros. Like that's where I really respected, the old school salsa and then like the girls were drunk. They would always like grab me and so I learned salsa. I learned how to dance salsa, merengue because of that situation. Whatever. But after high school, I
So that's
moved.
kind of entertainment. That's
Yeah.
like a peek into entertainment. Go ahead.
And then after high school, I moved to Miami.
By
'Cause-
choice or the family?
No, I had because my mom had passed away, and then I found out my mom had a sister in Florida, so that's where I left to. So by the time I got there, the idea of doing anything in entertainment wasn't even I wasn't even a thought. Like that's not for people like me. You know what I'm saying? I come from a poor family. We ain't got nothing. So I can't think like I'm gonna be on TV. That's crazy talk. So I had to really humble myself and when I got to Miami, just started working. And I worked at different jobs. Like I worked at this place called Miami Subs. I was the fastest sub maker. Like I got fired there 3 times.
Explain that. Fired,
Well-
rehired, fire, rehired?
Yeah. It was a slow day, and one of my boys that's working with me, they're like, "Yo, I bet you $5 you won't sit on the grill." I'm like, "Sit, man, it's
No.
easy." So
No.
sat on the grill, jumped right back off of it, and they found out, so I got fired.
Why would you sit on the grill?
Yeah.
Did you get some kind of grill mark tattoo?
Nah,
or
I had my pants on.
Oh, okay,
But it was
okay.
just quick.
try to
but I was the
plancha,
fastest
iron the
one.
pants, or
I was the fastest one. Hold on, can we
Something.
pause this real quick? This man don't stop calling me.
Can we? All right. We'll wait for- So the fastest sub maker. I like.
Yeah,
it.
I was the fastest. And then so they'll fire me, and then they realize like, bro, we just bring him back in, give him another chance because I was good.
Nobody can flip the ham and turkey like Tonio. Okay, we
Yeah.
need him back, bruh.
Yeah.
Need him back. Yo, that's so funny. Okay, and then after that, any
After
other
that,
jobs that you could share with us?
I got into the mortgage industry.
What?
Yeah, so my one of my close friends, Jaime, he was my barber. I'm getting a cut. We're talking. He's like, "Yo, you should work with my brother. He has a mortgage company." So I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll try it out." So I went over there, had an interview with the guy, and then that's when I learned. This wasn't a 9 to 5 job. This was like self-employed, 1099. Like you do your own hours, and then whatever. He explains to me what it is. I'm like, "All right, mortgages." Then he wrote a number down, and I'm like, "Wait, I can make that much here?" He goes, "Yeah, that's up to you." So I'm like, "I'm gonna figure this out." All right, cool. So I started working there. 8 months passed. I didn't make $1, not $1, because you got to bring your own clients.
Yeah.
Like who wants to bring? Who's gonna trust a 19-year-old how to with their mortgages and their financial stuff? So I had to learn to talk. I learned. I finally closed my first deal. After that, the next 4 months, in those 4 months, I made like $40,000. So the next year, I made I made over $80,000. My third year, I made $144,000. By my fourth year, I already opened up my own company called Mortgages on Demand.
All right.
Yeah, so I was
MOD.
really young. By the time I was like 20, 23, I own like 6 houses and just figured it out. And because of that financial freedom I had around that time, it allowed me to think of inside me, and then I'm like, I want to act. And I was able to start thinking the way I should be thinking, but because I don't know, reality wasn't set for me that way. I just thought like people like me don't have those chances. I'm like, I'm gonna give myself the chance. And I started auditioning. I tried out for Spider-Man 2, and I flew myself to Detroit, and I would do all these auditions. I have a lot of extra work. There's a lot of movies out there that I don't even tell nobody,
Tell
but
us.
I'm
I
in
love
it.
this.
I'll give you one.
Give us a few. Come on. I'll share some
There's this
background that I
show-
did too. Go
There's
ahead.
this big show on Showtime called Dexter.
Yeah.
I'm on Dexter season 1, episode, I think it's 3 or 4. Like, you see me there as a detective. I'm checking out boxes. I'm looking at the severed foot, and like you see me, whatever.
That's
Yeah.
fun. Yo, I
So-
remember let's talk about the worst background gig. Cause like background actors historically, like we're
Yeah.
just not treated that nicely. You know what I'm saying? But like that's a stripe that you earn in the industry.
Yeah.
I like enjoyed it but hated it at the same time because, you know, for example, I did SVU a few times. You're on set with some of the greats. Ice-T is like the longest running TV actor. I think he's got like 22 seasons of SVU. And you're on set, you're watching these pros, and I absorb. I don't know about you. Any set I'm on, I'm absorbing. And you're just seeing the greats. But yo, it was a protest scene in the coldest winter I think that New York saw a few years ago. It was so cold that they gave us hand warmers, and I put them everywhere under my tetas. I just like lined my body with the hand warmers that like activate, and we just had to keep marching towards the stage on action, freezing my ass off. But these background gigs, like, what's another one that you could tell us that you know, so we
But
can
you
go
know what
looking
I do
for you?
think of every time I do these background gigs? I always think if the director sees me, I got a shot at doing something. So I'm always overacting my part. Like, if I'm like, whatever. And if he's looking at me, I'm like, I just feel like, yo, if he sees me, it's a wrap.
That's the background hustle. You try to get in front, like, excuse me, watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hi,
Yeah.
director, how's it going?
Yeah.
You know, blue steel real quick.
Try to make conversation.
Yo, I did background for West Side Story. And that, you know, at that point I was a working actor and shit, but like West Side Story, Steven Spielberg, I was like, this is my favorite. The 1961 version of West Side Story is my favorite. Like soundtrack, film, Rita Moreno, EGOT, Nerd Alert. You know what I'm saying? So of course I was gonna take that opportunity. Let me tell you about this. It was, again, the best of times, the worst of times. It was so hot in New York City when they were shooting that. It was a summer day, and everybody's in 1961, true to character. They had to cut my hair. They cut like 4 inches off of my shit. I was so upset about that.
As
But
an extra?
yes.
You
I-
bugging.
they were like strict. I remember the beautician, there was whatever she was called. She's like, Spielberg gave us strict directions. Everyone has to have a 1961 bob, or you don't work the film.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, all right, so cut my shit off then. Go ahead. I did it. It was hot, you know, beautiful, like, you know, dress. And it was just so incredible. But I was the girl that was like running from the phone booth to the street, like, come on, everybody, there's a dance scene. So if you look for me in West Side Story, I'm in the America scene. You know, I went to live in America. And I'm the only girl with a hand fan because I asked the costume department and wardrobe, I was like, it's so hot, can I use my mother's hand fan? And they were like, yeah, it's, you know, people were using hand fans in 1961. So that's how you can find me. I'm the gordita with the hand fan because you era gordita, you know? And I think I lost 15 pounds that day running back and forth from the like freaking phone booth to like, come on guys, they're dancing. Anyway, give us one more. Any other background that we can find you in? This is fun because then it's like, where's Waldo? You can go and like, you know, there he is.
I don't remember what else I did.
That's okay, we can move on.
If I remember, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Now to find them.
All right, so
Talking about, you like Grease?
the movie?
Yeah.
Of course.
You know that song? How it goes? Summer loving, had me a blast. That sounds fire. I also remixed that song. I'm playing with it. Yeah, I turned it into a dembo. Yeah. I mean, I could play. Throw my phone real quick. I'm gonna play it for y'all. Y'all can hear
go.
from the mic, right?
What?
Yeah,
I'm still loving
messing-
Dembo.
But you throw my phone though.
That was a great
Not the
catch
water, the
and
phone.
throw.
It was a great throw.
I was so scared for like 2 milliseconds that I was going to see an iPhone break right in front of me. And that happened to me a couple nights ago. Frog in my throat, get it out. So, Summer Lovin' Remix, let's see.
TONIOSKITS, Grease, John Travolta. Summer lovin', had me a blast. por qué. Como el conejo bonito me porté. Estaba borracha
Are you guys hearing this?
te boté. Por eso se acabó. Por eso se acabó.
That's a little snippet of it. Yeah.
This is so great.
Yeah.
Yo, but like your music is a whole other world. Let's just
Yeah.
dive into that world.
Let's dive in.
And let me set this up a little bit. What I love about your career and all the facets of it is that you took your base, your foundation, and you evolved from there. You didn't leave your funny.
Nah.
You didn't leave your comedy to like
do that.
go into other things like other performers do, but you built upon it instead. So how did you build upon your music career with that foundation that I just referred to?
Well, because it started more because of Wildin' Out, because Wildin' Out, you gotta rap, you gotta improv and rap, and it's musically based on a lot of games. So I found music to be just a different outlet because there's things I can do in music that I can't do in my skits, or I can't express myself in music the way I would in skits and stuff like that. So what I did was like, I'll do my music, but I also intertwine it with my skits. For example, like people, for whatever reason, people just hate for you to switch up and do something else.
Yeah.
They just hate it.
It's hard for them to
Like, no.
digest it. Wait, we know
Yeah.
you as an actor. Now you want to be an artist, like, and performing on stage?
Yeah, like
yes.
this is the, like, you can't fool us. Like, I'm not trying to fool you that there's more to me than what you see.
Yes.
So what I did was so people like they like the funny, they like the visuals. So what I did was I started creating these like a series online, a musical series, if you will. I created a musical series, so I'm giving you what you want, but I'm also showing you, what I'm saying? I rap, I do music, I can sing, I do all these things.
And from what we've heard, you incorporate comedy into
Yeah,
it
yeah, I
too.
do. I
Like,
incorporate my comedy into it.
you can sense that.
So,
That's great.
I'll leave, go do my stuff, but I'm coming back to my peoples because I gotta make sure, like, look, I'm still giving you the visuals. I'm still giving you some of what you're used to, but I'm also introducing to you. There's more sides to me, and it's like any other human. Like, we grow, we change. There's so many sides to so many different people, and it's just like I feel like we're in an era now where people are starting to understand, like, bro, there's more than there's more than what we do. When Drake came out and he was singing and rapping, people were like, huh?
Right.
And now it's a normal thing.
And do we remember him from Degrassi High?
No.
I grew up on that shit. Drake in a
Bruh.
wheelchair. Word up.
Yeah, Drake was in a wheelchair.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about this process, because the creative process is something that I always love to delve into when I have guests on this show. When I talk to writers, I get granular. I want to know, like, what do you write on? Do you use Celtics? Do you use, Final Draft Pro? Or, like, what's your process? Do you need to be in a dark room with candles, or, like, an oasis somewhere in the Mediterranean? Like, how do you get the most creative?
I am the most creative when I'm in LA. The energy over there is just different. The energy don't match anywhere else. But it really depends on how I wake up, because I wake up, I don't want to do nothing about skits. I just want to do music. So I wake up and just start playing music and just feed my head music that day. And if I'm going to write on something, what I like to do is I'll find a song I like and I'll remix that song. And because it already has like a topic, I'll remix that song, and now I have all these bars that now I can change it into an original song. So I do that sometimes. That helps me create music faster, unless I come up with an idea to just create music.
And what programs are you using?
I use for, like, if I write, I use Final Draft. When I write. Yeah, I use that.
And your music?
For my music, I don't use anything. I just write. Like, I mean, I don't record myself. I don't Pro Tools and all that stuff. I don't have none of that. I just listen to music and I rewrite my shit. Sometimes I'll use Final Cut that I use for my regular editing. I use it to edit my music, but that's for my personal use. You can't really it's not really for commercial. It's just I already know how to do stuff on Final Cut. I'll chop my music up there and I'll extract the beat and do my stuff like that. But that's not for music. I just use it because I come from editing world, so I'll use that because it makes sense to me. And I never taught myself Pro Tools or none of that stuff. I just, I didn't have the time for that.
Interesting. Yeah, I like to get granular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some people will say, "Oh, I smoke a L before I gotta write a song."
I don't like smoking weed, so
Talk to us. What
yeah.
do you drink? Do you no
Yeah,
smoke
I'm a
weed?
social drinker. Like I'll drink if we go out. I don't like weed. It just slows me down. Like it's not for me,
That's
you know.
good.
So I just,
I love that POV. Um, all
I
right.
suck dick for meth. That's what.
Okay, I didn't expect that. That I didn't expect. You know what I'm saying? But you and I are a lot alike.
Oh shit, that shit's just funny. I've been sucking dick for meth. All right, this is hilarious.
Yo, so right now we are witnessing Hollywood transitioning, right? Like you
Yeah.
mentioned, you feel the most creative in LA. Have you been to LA in the midst of the strike?
Nah, I should be going there next week. I have not been there since the strike started.
Let's talk about some current events because the strike is really impacting all of us. Whether
Yeah.
you're a consumer and you're looking for your favorite shows in the fall lineup and not seeing them, or whether you're actors and writers and performers and you're like, okay, I may have to suck dick for money or something.
Or,
like,
or maybe you just got an opportunity to be on one of the a blockbuster movie franchise that's always been a part of your goals in life. Bad Boys. Yeah, I almost, and I believe I have an opportunity to get on Bad Boys 4, but because of the strike, it stopped everything.
Jesus
I was this
Santísimo.
close. Y si Dios quiere.
Jesus
Bro, if they put me
Santísimo.
on Bad Boys 4, whether it's a walk-on role, whatever it is, that's all I need.
Take
You
it.
give me that, it's over with, and I'm going to just take it from there because it's Bad Boys 4. It's Will Smith. So the last thing my mom ever did when we had no money was take me to see Bad Boys 1
Martin
in
Lawrence.
1996.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, but he was just my favorite actor, you know? And I went to the movies with my mom. That was the last thing she did before she passed. And now to be able to have an opportunity to possibly be in Bad Boys 4 is crazy.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm really sorry about your mom.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
It sounds like you do so much in her honor, though.
I do, yeah.
And when you book this Bad Boys thing, we all
Yeah.
gonna take a sip of champagne.
We're going to do that. Yeah.
This is so amazing. Okay, so let's talk a
Writer
little.
strike.
Yeah, the strike.
So it stopped everything. So in a nutshell, for people that don't really follow what's going on, these studios, right? Fox or Marvel or these big name studios, Disney, yeah, are getting paid a lot of money, and a lot of people that are involved in these projects are getting almost pennies on the dollar, and it's just gotten to the point where they're like, bro, enough's enough. Like I can't pay for rent, and you are making billions of dollars on the same project that I have a substantial a role in, right? Like a writer. I'm a writer on this, and then it's making billions, and I make $75,000. I mean, that's cool. I make $75,000, but I got bills to
Comparatively
pay.
speaking,
Yeah.
it's unfair.
So like they're striking. They're striking for that, and this is what I believe. Like, why hasn't the studios have done nothing yet? There's a lot of theories or conspiracy ideas of what's happening, but we're in a new age. We're in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, and I believe the studios are like, bet if you don't want to fuck with me, we got your likeness. You already signed over your likeness and all this stuff, so I can create an AI with Will Smith's face and do a movie. Like if you look at they're right now creating trailers. It's taking about maybe 2-3 hours to create a 7-minute trailer just with artificial intelligence, and it looks amazing.
No.
I'm like, bro, so what? We can't work no more? Like, so I don't know where we're going right now, but there has to be a medium. I mean, a strike is done to purposely allow these companies to lose money on a daily basis for them to figure it out. I'm like, okay, cool, let's come to an understanding. And we've yet come to that. So a lot of actors, especially current films that we're filming right now, are on hold, like Bad Boys. They're literally filming right now, or was in Atlanta, so they had to put that on hold. There's a lot of stuff that was placed on hold, and if you're a part of, the union, everyone, that's the reason for a union, so we all can just come together and collectively be heard and act upon whatever's going on, and that's what's going on right now.
There's a lot of information out there for the public. So if you just Google SAG strike, WGA strike, you'll see these proposals that the union members have been asking and presenting to SAG. They are basic human rights. Some of them are so basic that you're like, this is what's been going down in Hollywood for decades? How are writers even making a good living out there? Why? What is the motivation? You know, these residual checks, if you see, a lot of people been posting their residual checks
Yeah.
like online, 3 cents to the dollar, 33 cents. I've received some of these checks. It's a joke. You don't even want, like, I let them stack up and then I go to the bank. Because if I go to the teller with a 33-cent check,
Yeah.
first of all, my account's only going to be brought to $1.33, so it's like pointless. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, where is the desire? Where's the motivation to keep this industry fueled? And more than that, what about the Latino community, right? What about the voice that is so missing on screens and mass media? Where's the motivation for us to write those characters and to portray our lives on screen? This has to be fixed. And I want to know what you, Tonio Skits, what are you doing? What are you doing to move the needle? Are you striking? Are you out there in the picket lines?
Yeah,
how are
I've
you
been-
supporting, or how are you showing your solidarity?
I've been bringing more eyeballs to the situation, reposting a lot of different things and just educating my followers and things that I've seen. I've been saying it from the beginning. John Leguizamo, he's a huge advocate on representation. Like we just don't have enough representation. You know, I saw a video the other day. This girl, she's really dark skinned. I think she had like braids, or maybe it was dreadlocks. I think it was braids. But when she opened her mouth, straight Dominicana, and everybody in the comments are like, "What? Where would?" It's because we don't have the right representation. That you guys would know that there are black Dominicans just as there's white Dominicans. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I want to be able to get into a place where one day I can start representing for people that are just not seen or heard from my culture, because we have stories, you know, and I want to be able to tell those stories. Like, we go through the same shit y'all go through, you know what I'm saying? And we just got a different face. You know, one great example was like, you know, when they did Scarface, Al Pacino did an amazing job. But because of that, everybody thinks Cubans talk like that, and they don't. When I got to Miami and saw what Cubans are really like, I'm like, that was the wrong representation.
What do you mean? They don't say hello to my little friend? when
No, they don't
say
not
that?
talk like that.
What? Oh,
It was
gosh,
great
I'm
work.
getting educated.
It was great work, you know. And for people that don't know how Cubans really talk, that was a masterpiece. But for a real Cuban, like, they don't. Okay, well, I said it. You know what I'm saying? They got swag. They talk different, like, you know. But that just shows you, you know, something huge like that. Hollywood would take it and give you a representation they want, and people eat on it. And I want to be able to change that once I get more welcomed into that space.
Well, you know, to that point, how do you represent for being Latino when you're on set? And I want to know that because sometimes you're on these productions and you mentioned you're the only Latino. Do you convey your Latinidad? Has there ever been a moment where you're presented with a script that you're like, nah, a Latino from New York wouldn't say that? Let me make this suggestion.
I do that. I do that. I mean, I haven't been on a lot of sets where I have to challenge that, but there's been times where I was told to be like, yo, can you be more like Latino? Like, how do you be more Latino? Like, the way I'm talking to you right now, I am Latino. That's not. What do
Right.
you want me to talk with broken accent like this, so I sound
Forget
more
about
like
it,
you?
motherfucker.
Is that
What the
what you
hell?
want, papi? Do you want me to talk like this, papi? Do I sound more Latino? You know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta, you know, you gotta speak up. You gotta challenge that. And so, I mean, I haven't been in a situation where there's a huge, you know, studio is talking to me and I'm saying something like that. Not yet. Like, I mean, I would try to make a few millions before I say something, but
Well, bueno.
but
Tonio,
yeah.
I just want to say thank you for like opening up and sharing so much. But now I have kind of a deep question for you.
Talk to me.
Okay, I love to ask this question. LOLeros know me so well. If you can talk to a younger Tonio right now, what are some words of advice that you would give him on maneuvering the industry, your career, taking everything you built from Instagram, and think of any barriers that you've faced in the last 5 to 10 years? What are some words of advice?
you know what? You would think that question's hard, but it really isn't. I would if my younger self was here, I would tell him. I would tell him those crazy thoughts you've had, they're real. You are enough. You can actually do these things. I would be doing so much way sooner if I can tell myself like, yo, every bad situation you've ever been through will help mold the good that's coming. So embrace the bad because the worse it gets, the better it becomes for you. And I would just tell myself like, you are enough. Your thoughts are not crazy. You know? Yeah. And there's a lot of bad bitches in the future.
Gosh.
Yeah. Cause I worried about that too. So
You're probably not alone.
they out here, my guy. Like they bad as fuck. They out here. Trust. Except there's a girl named Christina in college. Run.
Wow.
That's
we
the
putting
devil.
Christina on blast
Hey,
right now. But why?
Christina's
You
the
already put her on
devil.
blast. So tell us why.
Yo, if you see her run, trust me.
Like stank
Nah,
pee or
her
what
ass
is
is
it?
fat, but
Oh.
like nah, run. She's the devil.
This is appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You asked me.
Yeah, I did.
These
And
are
you're
my
honest.
thoughts.
Yo, this is crazy. It's so great. Tonio, before we wrap this interview, tell us some exciting things that you're working on, what we can expect from you.
Things that I'm working on. Alyssa's pretty exciting. I'm working on her. Oh, I'm not
That's
people.
La Novia,
Okay,
who's
so-
right here, and she's beautiful.
So projects I'm working on. We're working on Mr. Social. It's an action comedy. Rosario Dawson and a few other people. So we're still working on that. I'm working on my music. Working on the album. That's why I went to Canada because they created a writers camp for me over there. So we went over there. We had some fun. I created, I believe, my best type of music in Canada. I just came from over there.
Wow.
Hence
hey.
where I met this one over here.
Alright.
And then I have
comedy's
other.
big in Canada. They love us out there in Canada.
Yeah.
Shout out to Montreal, JFL,
Yeah,
the
they
Toronto
fuck with
Sketch
us.
Festival that showed me mad love throughout the years.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm working on a documentary. This documentary is called the name of the documentary is called Keep Posting, and it's almost like it's a simile or it shows us the creators on what happens on the other side of the phone, right? Because we all go through shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, last year I lost my brother in a car accident. It's my brother.
Wow.
But people don't know that because I kept posting. You know what I'm saying? I'm making you laugh, but you don't know what the fuck we dealing with on this side. So every episode on Keep Posting is going to show one of your favorite influencers or actors, and we're just going to remove the filters and show you what's really going on and how we kept posting. It's almost like we're saying, like, keep moving, keep going to work, keep taking that bus, keep doing this. So it's called Keep Posting. It's a documentary. And it's just to remove filters from people's lives so you can see that you are no different than them. They just keep executing. So you should too.
Well, mi gente, LOLeros, if you're not one of the 1.7 million followers that follow Tonio, you should, at TONIOSKITS on Instagram. Are you on the other platforms, or is Instagram like your...
No. Facebook, I got about 4.2 followers, 4.2 million. TikTok, 1.7. I'm on YouTube. I post there every day as well. I'm posting my shorts there. I have a Snapchat show, just Tonio Skits on Snapchat. You'll see my show there. So I try to be everywhere.
You. I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing it for you and for us,
For sure.
for everybody out there. Keep killing it.
I do want to put one thing out there because I know in the news they just recently mentioned how there's they admitted there's aliens. All I'm saying is, if there's an alien out here and you bad as fuck, like, holla at your boy. I just want to be the first. Then get at me, you know what I mean? Ooh.
What makes you think I'm not one of them? I mean, excuse me. Sorry.
Rachel La Loca is an alien.
No, I'm not going. Go stop. It's just sometimes it comes out. Thank you. Yeah, there's alien life form out there. Yo, I'm just saying, if there's any alien comedians, maybe we could do a show.
Yeah.
I talk alien humor all the time. You
I'm
know
trying
what
to
I'm saying?
smash. I ain't gonna lie to you. So,
What's it like to smash an alien?
is it cheating? Like, baby, I ain't fuck no man, no woman.
No, right?
What?
If it's like beyond this, universe, right? Like it's just not.
It's not cheating.
Well, not really universe, but if it's spatial,
You want
I
to do
guess.
threesome with an alien?
Well, now that's interesting. Hey, what happens on Mars stays on Mars. You know what I'm saying?
That's different.
I'm into those craters and shit. Yeah, I'm trying to fill them craters, you know?
That's
Okay, yo,
different.
this is getting mad spacey, Kevin.
Yo.
But, yo, this is real. I love talking to you. I also love seeing Latinos win.
Yes.
That's like my thing. Here on Latinos Out Loud, we've been doing this for 6 years now. You know this. But this is where we celebrate, yo. This is not just a podcast. This is a party. It's a podcast party. Ratata. So
Ratata.
thank you for coming on Latinos Out
Thank
Loud,
you.
carving out the time for us during your trip.
For sure.
And I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank
Everything
you very
you've
much.
done, especially the hardships, how you've just turned them around and you keep going. You keep
going.
posting.
Yeah. Keep posting. Yes.
Tonio Skits, Rachel La Loca. It's been another episode of Latinos Out Loud. Thank you to this. This is so great, literally. And on that note, we out.